what the program looks like, what our strength program is, what people should expect from it, all of those things. But before we get to that, like what's important about strength specific to application in a real world environment?
Number one reason why you resistance train is to prevent injury and build resilience overall. So program the strength piece to, one, do those two things, and then also to amplify the movement. Movement is the foundation. So in this program, you're going to get your speed and power. You're going to get your strength work, your accessory pieces to amplify the strength piece. And then you're also going to get your work capacity. So breaking down day by day. So it's a 10-week program. Monday is going to be your speed and squats day. So also this program, since it is a strength program, we do bias days versus a performance program. We're doing a little bit more total body incorporated every day. So you're not kind of getting too gassed out. And so you're able to perform your job later on in the day. This one, we're breaking it down by lifts so you can spend more time investing skills and getting volume and intensity and recovery needed to increase those particular lifts.
So hold on, let me make sure I'm hearing you right. So when you say bias, I think emphasis.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So it's a lower body emphasis one day versus an upper body one day. This might be for people to kind of get in their head. Right. And the reasons for that are so that when we go into, like if I had an upper body emphasis today and I had a lower body, let's say squat dominant day, knee dominant day on the previous day, when I come into that next lower body day, which is going to be 2 days later, I may go more into a hinge dominant.
Right. Exactly.
Type.
You're going to hit different movement patterns each day, different muscle groups each day.
So it's kind of, so for people could relate to, it's like almost, it might sound like an upper lower type of routine. If
push, pull, upper, lower, arms, legs, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, cool.
It's split in that way.
Right.
So day one is going to be your speeds and your speed work and your squats. So reason being, the sprint work is going to prime your body to squat a lot better.
Oh, that's good.
So I love primers.
Yeah.
You're going to prime yourself. So almost every single lift is going to have a primer involved with it. So the speed, we need to sprint. You need to sprint for injury prevention to increase your power, or your ability to sprint. But third piece is it's amplifying that squat you're about to do.
Gotcha.
I know you're going to go through the rest of the week, and I expect you to, the rest of what we can expect. But I know that and you kind of alluded to this. Alleviated. Oh, whatever.
Alleviated, alluded.
Same word. Oranges, potatoes. So you cover the idea of we can expect to see a emphasis placed upon strength. Mm-hmm. But I'm an RP, I'm a percent kind of guy. So tell me what percent can I expect in this program? When I do the strength program, I can expect to see, I'm focusing, and I'm not saying specifically how much we're doing in the week, but what's the focus percentage on strength versus work capacity versus speed and power?
Right. So strength is anything 80% or higher.
Yeah.
So we'll start out progressively getting there. So we're going to get a little bit more of a preparatory phase if you want to go by the book. You're going to get some volume and then get used to having some load on you. That's the first couple of weeks. I like to program in 2-week blocks. So you hit 1 week, build a little bit in the same rep scheme, build up a little bit more percentage, and then we're going to drop reps, build up even more percentage, drop reps. And it's just going to progressively go. So these programs, strength, speed, power, capacity, are all more linearly periodized, so that you can have an actual chance to really focus on building a skill and building a weakness.
So important, because I think a lot of people are just trying to find exercises to fulfill the movement patterns and get the loads and the velocity in, right? And it turns out to be what exercises do I choose?
ChatGPT?
Yes. And so then people expect there should be all this variety, when the reality of it is you need to get really good at doing the same basic things.
Simple doesn't look pretty. Simple gets the job done.
Thank you.
Important.
The best programs are the most boringest programs in existence.
Yep. This has been one of our struggles, I feel like, as we've stepped into this industry. So often guys are like, man, I'm bored, or oh man,
I want something shiny.
Yeah, exactly. I need a shiny object. It's dude, that is not how the professionals do it. Yeah. If you want to grow at that skill that we're trying to develop, you have to, it's consistency. You have to consistently grow and 100%.
Do it. That's been my favorite word in the last few months as I've been building these, is it's consistency.
If I wanted to make a lot of money and sell shiny things, I would sell laser trainers for pistols. Random conversation topic. There you guys go.
Seriously, jeez.
All right. Because I think they're worthless. No, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was asking, Aaron. So okay, so talk through the rest of it. I'm sorry. You talked about Monday. What is the rest of the week like?
Monday, again, is speed and squats. And then every day is going to have some sort of accessory work to build that particular main lift you're working on. Tuesday is going to be change direction, bench press, and then work capacity. So bench press doesn't take a lot of time to work out and train. So the accessory pieces, most people are going to have overdone that horizontal push. So that movement pattern is already going to be overdone. But if they still need to get a little bit of accessory work, we're going to add it in there just because it does support it. You've already probably got a bunch of volume on you. So having a little bit less is not going to hurt you. It's probably going to benefit you. So you're taking some load off.
That could be a tough thing for somebody to get into their head, but I could not agree with you more. Right. And it's the thing people need to hear. Yep. They 100% need to hear it.
And then that change of direction, we're coupling it with the upper body day because change of direction is very lower body heavy. A lot of eccentrics, a lot of heavy loading as you're decelerating the position and exploding out. So we're getting a little bit of lower body. So you're kind of getting that total body piece of it. So we're moving lower body, hitting an upper body movement and accessory work. And then we're hitting a capacity piece at the end of that day. Again, because you're going to have a lot more time to do that, we're going to hit capacity that day.
So time frame. I mean, we're going to have a really in-depth conversation on, what was the word we used? Time efficiency. Time efficiency. Thank you. So if I need to go to the gym, how much time, if I'm jumping on probably any of these PDF, the static programs we're going to have, but this one in particular, since we're talking about it, like how much time do I need in the gym for this?
For these programs, hour 15.
Yeah. So that gives you plenty of time to put in the intensity so that you can get the recovery, to then put in the intensity and put in the intention to the actual bigger movements that we put into the strength program. So, like the sprint's important at the beginning, right? But it is also a warm-up or a primer to what we're about to do. So within the first, 20 minutes of this workout, you're getting most of the bigger intensity stuff done,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that as you get like further into the workout, there's a little bit more of that accessory type work that you don't need as much to be as fresh for.
When you lay out the stuff, I'm asking awesome questions, I know.
I'm nailing it.
When you lay out the program for this, can we expect that it's like, hey, Joe, when you sign up for this program, I want you to start from the beginning of the day and work through it? Or do you want them to jump around? Like, how does that look like?
It'll be set A, B, C, D, follow the alphabet.
Okay, so then next question. Next question is, because I get this a lot, is if I run out of time and I don't have an hour 15 for that day, and I got 45 minutes, how should I prioritize my time in this program?
Follow the alphabet. Whatever you don't get to,
easy day. Easy.
It is in order of emphasis, priority.
Yeah, priority.
Priority. Yeah. Yep. It is in order of most priority. The meat and potatoes are at the beginning. Everything else at the bottom is going to be extra to help you, but you're not going to just fall off and lose gains if you don't hit that. So that's another reason why we put capacity at the end, especially for this program. Yep. If you're going to hit something, you're going to get your movement because again, I can't say it enough. Movement is the foundation. This program, it does take a little bit of a backseat, more so a minimal effective dose. We're just getting just enough to maintain that skill, work it a little bit, and then we're going to spend more time in the strength.
Right.
Capacity's at the end. So if you have to knock something off or the accessory work, just knock it off at the end. Maybe bump it to a different day if you can fill it in that time. But again, it's all about time efficiency. And it's programmed what's most important, second most important, and then everything else after is just bonus work for you.
So you were talking about the days and kind of how they're laid out. How many days per week is this program again?
This is a 6-day per week program.
Okay. So
are they all on, or is there like an active recovery in there at all?
It fluctuates. There is a semi-active recovery day. Okay. So Wednesday, it would be the next day. It is zone 2 day. So it has been scientifically proven that working zone 2 in aerobic endurance can improve your strength.
This is something we will talk about in one of our other podcasts, just to help people understand that, like what is going on and the why. Yeah. But it's important to know. So midweek, you are getting a quote unquote active recovery day. You will feel like you're getting a workout, and it is programmed there for a reason, right?
Yeah, there's always a reason.
Yeah. So like a lot of times I know these higher achievers are like, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more.
It's volume versus intensity.
Exactly. And this, if we're trying to build strength, right, you need the proper recovery time. It's not about pushing all the time. Aaron and Hep have gone through here and spent a lot of time through what we know through science. There is some science here. Also what they know through experience, but there's an art to this too, based on what they see work and what they know, people will and won't do. And that's been programmed into here. That's the nuance that you won't get in a lot of other programs. A lot of other programs you'll get, like I said before, you get a bunch of exercises, and that's not bad, but it's also not great. And so it's like, again, we're giving you the cleanest dirty shirt.
I mean, this one I wouldn't even say is a clean, sturdy shirt. Like, if you just have a bunch of random programs, you're going to be randomly not as good at any of them.
You're shirtless.
Yeah, you're shirtless by this
Bad if you're a
point.
Super smelly.
Okay, so Aaron, last question. What's the goal of the program?
Get strong.
Yeah.
Strong as possible in 10 weeks. And still be able to perform your job.
Okay, that's definitely a big factor. Like, you're not going to be completely worn out.
Yeah, this is not just like a powerlifting, you're training to peak for a competition program. You can get strong with that for sure. You're just not going to be ready for your job later on in the day. Crush yourself in the gym for hour 15, in a smart way, and then move on to the next thing.
Well, like you said too, it's also you're working still those other skills, just not as much of an emphasis or bias.
It's almost like an SPP program with a slight emphasis.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's like we are still under an umbrella of something specific, but we have a slight emphasis towards something that you happen to suck at.
Right.
Yeah. The last thing I would
you pointed straight at Aaron. I was like, wow, that is hateful.
I felt that in my soul.
But like the goals, or like also like the expectations. Like, what are some of the things like people go, I get it, I should be getting stronger. What should they be seeing in the progress? And what are some of the other things outside of like, okay, my strength is measurably going up. I'm seeing that in my RIRs and in my loads on a weekly basis. But what are some of the things that might be happening, like physically or physiologically, that they might not be aware of, and or maybe they should be aware of that can come along. So I know, like, for one of those things is like, when I start this thing, you're going to be sore. Like, and you should
first couple weeks,
should be expect to be sore. And you guys have managed the volume and intensity in this to try to manage that. But look, you're going to be sore. Be prepared for that.
And the progression. Yeah. Like, this is, well, I know one of the things we talked offline or off camera. The progression, the intensity modulation, as Aaron put it, load management. But again, it doesn't mean you're not going to be sore at all, but also appropriately sore.
We're trying to minimize this.
You should not be sore through the whole program. Yeah. Right. And I think that's one of the other things, come back to the randomness. When people are like, man, it just is so great, I'm sore, this is a hard program. Like, you're an idiot. That is not going to last you very long. You are not helping yourself.
That is a whole other topic, but you are right about this. Like,
strong, but
it came on a little strong.
Yeah, truth hurts.
So expect to be a little bit sore at the beginning, but that doesn't last the entire time.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, if it is, then you're either under recovering or you're doing something that we did not program.
Right. Yeah. So there's that. There's also, like, what else happens? Like, we don't have to get into this today, but if you're working out at this intensity, like, you should also expect, like, your appetite might change a little bit. Like, you may be feeling a little hungrier. Yeah. You may be sleeping a little harder. Those are all good things, in my mind, right? Those are good physiological responses to stuff. I just kind of put that out there. Like, the other thing that, people won't be mad at, generally speaking, is if you haven't been in one of these programs or an organized program like this, as you're building strength, you're probably building some hypertrophy. So you're probably,
especially if you're able to hit all the accessory work at the end. Yeah. Well, that's where the volume is accumulating. It's not coming from the strength pieces, because you have to have low volume, high intensity for the strength to actually progress. Yeah. The accessory pieces are low skill movements where you can get some volume and build those supporting muscles.
Yeah. So if you're looking to move from the medium to the large shirt, this is a good program for you. Like, in terms of putting on a little bit of muscle as well.
That should have been his elevator pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you want? Are you tired of wearing a small shirt? Welcome to the strength program.
Yeah, but it's not a bodybuilding program or physique program, which I think
it's just a bonus that you get from it.
I think a lot of dudes fall into that trap because they know it works. They fall into the typical body part split or physique style programming because, you will build some strength. Yes, you will build some hypertrophy, but how does that translate over into, whatever it is that you need to do?
Air movement.
Cancels this right here. Right. Whatever this is.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
Oh, arm farm's going to be in there.
The arm farm's in there somewhere.
Yeah. We made the program for Pronka, and he was like, X-ray alpha, whatever. And he was like, what did he say? Put that in there. He wanted
he wanted some like upper body accessory.
Blaster. What he called upper body blaster.
Oh, I say stuff all the time.
So I just put arm farm. Twice a week, arm farm. It's good for the ego.
I love it.
We're the triceps and biceps.
Yeah.
So again, like, good overview, man. I mean, that kind of gives people. I think people want to know what they're getting. It's hard because, how does that sound different? I hope what people took away was the nuance that you brought into that and the specificity of it to the population that we're talking to. This could be this could be wildly successful. This could be a wildly successful program for anybody jumping into it. But for somebody that is trying to manage their time, manage their recovery, has to be on all the time. You just don't have a choice in it. I think that's the nuance that you mentioned, it gets missed in a lot of programs that we see as being a major gap, and we're trying to help fill that. So, anything you guys else you want to say?
Nope.
We're done with strength.
Done with strength.
Go check out the IEP Strength program.